Hello and welcome, I am Cuff Me Up, and this is my Beta Weekend Event 3 impressions. Now, the classes I played was the Scrapper, the Druid, the Dragon Hunter, and the Reaper again. Anyway, when it comes to... well, let's just start with the Reaper, because, well, the Reaper is still the Reaper. It still does a great job. In fact, it feels even stronger now, which I'm not sure is good. And yeah, it's just really powerful, it's really fun, it's in a wonderful place, and it's probably going to stay that way. Anyway, next let's go to Dragon Hunter. With them, I'm kind of indifferent. Because there's nothing bad about it. I'm not like, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. None of that crap. It's fine. It gets the job done. It feels effective. It's an interesting kind of play style for a Guardian, but at the same time, it's just not for me. I don't see myself playing it. I didn't have like a blast playing it, but it was okay. So yeah, I'm kind of indifferent. I'm kind of in the middle, because I think it works. I think it's fine. I just know it's not my kind of style when it comes to playing, because of the ranged focus. Although I do think traps should have a trait where you can throw them. You can throw them down at distances instead of having to put them right on you, but I guess they are traps, and that's how traps work, so whatever. Let's see, after that, it's the Scrapper. The Scrapper it was a lot of fun. I went with a flamethrower sort of focus. I didn't use any of the gyros. The gyros, I feel, are generally not worth it. I only really went with the Shredder gyro. And I had fun with it. It was good. It's nothing amazing, but it's decent. It gets the job done. I had fun with it. The hammer I really like. It was generally enjoyable. I do see myself definitely using it once it hits live on my NG. But that's more just because I'm a generally melee-focused person. And yeah, my build is focused around like having constant might by also having sort of constant stability. So that was fun. And yeah, that's all I have to say about those classes. And now we'll move on to the Druid. This was the most interesting and had me kind of the most torn to an extent. Because currently there's no real huge focus in healing, because everyone has their own way of healing in Guild Wars 2. So normally when I've always thought of support, it's somebody who can boon the fuck out of everyone else in the party. I never thought of it as someone who does a lot of direct healing. And the Druid is entirely built around that. Just, healing. And it's fun. It's cool seeing all the green numbers go up. It's fun just kind of doing, like I was going axe, warhorn, and staff. I would put down the wall that would turn projectiles into healing things, or into healing projectiles, and then I'd use my dash to do a blast finisher into it, healing everyone, and then I'd use my warhorn 5 to do another blast, and then whenever I got into celestial mode, I'd pop my elite and just start bombing heals on myself, along with all the people I connected myself to. And yeah, plus with the Warhorn, I was constantly giving out Fury and Might, and I was also using the, what are they? Glyphs. Okay, I was also using the glyph that would give everyone 10% more damage. So it was fun being very support-focused. It's just, healing, at least in all the situations I played, never felt really worth it. Like, I never felt like, oh yeah, I'm being a huge help to the team. It was always just kind of there and happening, and whenever it would be helpful, whenever it would be like, oh yes, I'm saving the team, like rezzing for instance, my heals and everything did nothing. And that's where I feel the change needs to be. Now, I don't think all healing should affect... well, here's what I'm suggesting. I don't think that all healing should affect downed people. We don't want to make it overpowered. But what I do feel and think is that by equipping stuff with healing power, you can actually affect people who are downed with your healing abilities. And it'd be very small amounts. Like, healing power, how it works fine, I think. How it works currently, I think, is sort of fine in how much it'll heal you. But, like, once someone gets downed, if you have no healing power, you're not going to be able to do shit to them. If you have, like, 2 pieces, you'll just delay the inevitable. If you dedicate half your gear to healing power, you can get people up as long as you can keep up that constant pressure. Like the Druid, an Ellie, maybe a Shout Warrior with the right stuff can, help get people up that way. And then if you go full healing power, you can get people up really easily, but you are sacrificing a bunch of other stats that you could have. But you're going to make sure your party stays alive. Like, I feel healing power should sort of affect people who are downed. That's just me, because I had fun with the Druid, but I didn't feel effective. I just didn't. I was going with a half Berserker, half Cavalier, so I had half of my stuff equipped with healing power, but I still didn't quite feel like I was hitting that impact or whatever. Anyway, besides that little problem with healing power and healing in general, the Druid's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna use it on my Ranger, because I really liked the mobility. I liked popping all these heals, even if they weren't even if they didn't feel all that effective, while still doing decent damage. And yeah. Now on to the final thing to talk about are raids. I got into one raid attempt. It was sort of late at one time, and then out of nowhere on map chat, I see people saying, "Oh, join us, raids, we need dead people. So it's just like, sure, I'll join. I played as my Druid, and immediately once you get in there, you were able to equip Ascended stuff, which was pretty fun. Which is pretty good, I guess I should say. Anyway, when it comes to the encounters, it's got a lot right, but there are certain things I feel are just wrong. And that's, well, first of all, the condition damage, whatever, there are 3 Guardians you need to kill before you get to the main fight. One, you just have to stand in AoE he'll hit the ground with. I don't have any footage of this, so you're just going to be hearing me talk about it. You have to stand in that so everyone doesn't get hurt. The less people that are outside of that AoE when it hits the ground, the more damage everyone in the raid will get. And then with the second one, you have to, or the red one, I should say, they kind of randomize. With the red one, you have to constantly apply condition damage. That's the only thing that will hurt it. Direct damage does nothing. And that's one of the points where I'm a little iffy. Anyway, and then the last one, you have to strip a boon off it, which is perfectly fine. It encourages, people to use certain things to handle that boss. Like Rangers with Signets, and that certain trait will be really helpful for this. Anyway, the thing that I have a problem with is we need a build template system. If they're gonna have us tailoring our builds to very specific encounters, like if they're gonna make us be like, okay, you're gonna need a condition damage build here, you're gonna need a build that's set up to get rid of boons here, you're gonna need a couple bunkers for this part. We need a template system. It is so annoying to go through all my stuff, be like, okay, I'll equip this armor now, what were my traits, and then bring up like Notepad or a journal on the side, and just, we need a template system. This is obviously the way they want to go. It's okay to an extent, but we need a build template system. We need a place we can save and just equip builds on the fly. Not mid-combat, but in between encounters, instead of having to go through all that unnecessary, annoying trouble. So we're gonna need that. And finally, I don't like the timer. The timer, I always feel just putting a timer on something is a way of just lazily adding difficulty. And plus, ArenaNet was saying they wanted to get away from the Berserker meta. But with this, sure, you have to focus on condition damage with the one version of the Guardian. But at the same time, your entire focus is damage. We need to do enough damage to kill this boss. All the other mechanics going on, they're fine, they work, they're challenging, they get you going, but the timer, do they want the Berserker meta to go away or not? Because with a timer, if you keep adding just timers to all these raid bosses, the Berserker meta is going to stay and it's going to be solidified as the permanent meta for, like, most encounters if you're just going to keep adding timers to add difficulty. I mean, with world bosses, it's different because you have, like, 100 people, so an individual stats and stuff don't really matter all that much. But when you're in a raid with only 10 people, everyone's going to need Berserker, everyone's going to need high damage, and everyone's going to need to be able to hit hard to get through that timer, while still having, you know, the boon stripping and a few condition damage guys. It's just, I feel the timer is just a lazy way of adding difficulty. That's it. It's lazy, and it encourages nothing but damage. Because that's all you need. That's your focus. If you want to get through this, fucking hit it hard. That's all you have to do. Just hit it hard. Well, that's not all you have to do. There are many other mechanics in place, which are good. I like all the other mechanics. I don't like the timer. Anyway, that's just me. I'm sure many other people disagree with it and are super happy about the timer because it means not as many people will beat it, and they'll feel more exclusive. I don't know. I just don't like the timer. A lot of the other stuff is okay. Just we need a build template system. And ArenaNet, please, don't just put a timer on everything you want to make hard. That is the worst and laziest way to add difficulty. Just make the encounter really, really hard. Like, this encounter is really hard. It didn't need the timer. It only needs the timer if you want people to focus entirely on damage. Anyway, this has been my Beta Weekend Event 3 impressions. I covered the Scrapper, the Reaper, the Druid, the Dragon Hunter, and the Raid. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Consider subscribing and other stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.